Well, I guess I remember that day as being a good day. I remember my sisters and I going to a car wash, and we were washing cars in Lake Tahoe that day. And I remember, having a good day and coming home. And then I remember you showing up at the door. You knocked on the door, and Mom was down the street. I forget what she was doing, but Mom wasn't there at the time. And I remember you came in and you said, "Girls, you guys got 15, 20 minutes. Pack everything you can in paper bags. I don't care what it is. We're going back to Quincy. Hurry it up." We were driving down to the turnoff there at Emerald Bay turnoff right there at that intersection. And it started to snow, and it was snowing pretty good at that point. And you stopped at the supermarket there in that parking lot, and I remember you saying to us, "Girls, I have some bad news to tell you." And I remember Janet looking over at my dad and said, "Gary, whatever you do, break it to him gently." Or she kept telling you, "Gary, please, softly, softly." And then she just kept talking to you, and you had a hard time telling us. And basically, you said there's been a death in the family, and of course we were troubled at that time because we couldn't imagine who it could be. And we went through a list of names, and we actually didn't guess it. And then I remember Janet bursting into tears, and then you said that Dana had been murdered. And you don't really know too much at this point. That all you know is he's been murdered, and that you have to take us back to Quincy, and that you have to take us there. But you weren't sure what had went on at that point. And you said they were still investigating it, and then you let us know that there were other people involved. And that's all you really told us at that point. And we were pretty devastated. It was a long car ride home.
And I really didn't know how to tell him, and I really didn't know when I was going to tell him, but I guess that was a decision that would be made up once we got traveling. So it lightened up the snow, and I remember stopping at the parking lot. And then it took me a while to come around to tell him that Dana was dead. He was murdered. And I remember distinctly when I told him that, you never heard such wailing. I mean, it was just unbelievable. The cries that they didn't want to believe it. And it was really one of the most difficult times that I've ever been in, to tell them that their brother had been killed. They wanted to know information that I did not possess, at all. And I could only tell them just from what I had gathered, and it just was a real tough time. And just before he died, he had gotten into some other trouble. He was working at the up the annex, wasn't it? The courthouse
Or was
annex?
it the fairgrounds?
Oh, well, was it the fairgrounds?
I can't remember.
Anyway, he had stolen some money, and he was going to another foster home. They got tired of what was going on, and they were going to send him to a much more secure environment. I remember that. You probably get that out of the doors. I really don't know. My feeling on it is I think Dana and the Sharps in the wrong place at the wrong time. I really haven't never really given it much thought. He's dead, and he was murdered. Why? Geez, I don't know. If I sit and think about it too much, then I just go crazy over it. I didn't see his body, but I can just imagine what they've described to me, what he looked like. I just imagine the brutality of it, the savageness of it. that's the only thing I can come up with is he was there, at the wrong time, the wrong place, the wrong time.
I think you touched on it really good when you said that to think about or even envision of what that poor family had to go through. Maybe it's safer for me not to think about the brutality of it. Maybe I'm more comfortable with not having to, talk about it.
Yeah, I can't go there.
But I couldn't even begin to go what.
I can't go there, or just to sit there and imagine the brutality being there. I can't imagine thinking about my son being in that position. I stop. I go, no, I can't think of that.
And as far as the crime in general, at least to my limited knowledge, I really think it was a random act of brutality. I do not in any way, shape, or form believe that our family or their family was a target. I really feel that this unfortunate incident was basically, in a nutshell, an act. They came in on it and had no idea that it.
Yeah, I think they came in on something.
I think they came in on something because, from what I understand, my brother Johnny, they were fully clothed, including jackets and just winter attire, and or like for the weather, and they were completely clothed. And I could not, from all indications, it looked like they actually came in on it. So, I don't know, or they brought the people. I could not even begin to speculate. I really think it was a random act of brutality. I don't think that
I
there
don't
was a
know if
target.
it's a random act or not. I think they came in on something.
Yeah, they came in on something.
Now, some said there was a drug deal going on. I don't know anything about it. The only thing I have a question about is, or one of the main points that I have is, why were the little kids in the bedroom?
Yeah,
they
not woken up.
Never woke up, or why?
How could they?
Didn't
how
they
could
hear
they,
something? Because apparently there was blood splattered everywhere.
Yeah.
And
we were just so if you have to think about those poor little children asleep in the next room, it's just the most awful thing to even imagine.
I don't think we can just go there.
No.
And I try not to ever dwell on it.
I think being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Did they do a bad job? I think they botched everything about that, crime scene. Of course, my feeling is they didn't have the forensics that they have today, the technology. I just hear bits and pieces of how they would have different departments working on this, different groups, focus groups. I don't know. I don't know what the real truth is. All I know is that I went down there several times, told them who I was, and I would like to know what's being done or what they know about my son's murder and the shark. And they refused to talk to me about it because they had it on the guise that was an ongoing investigation. I have never been approached, or even no one in the sheriff department has even talked to me about it. I felt hurt by that. What bits and pieces I ever did get was through the newspaper, and they never contacted me either.